few months ago, May 19th to be exact, we made history here in Paterson with the rebirth of historic Hinchliffe Stadium, which our Economic Development Director, Mike Powell, and I call the real, hold on, hopefully people are safe, the real field of dreams. It's where African Americans played when they were not allowed to in Major League Baseball. So they had a home at Hinchliffe Stadium. They played in Paterson. 20 legends that played on that field went to the Hall of Fame. And now we brought it back for the future Hall of Famers that will play on that field. And thank you. You gotta come along. But speaking of games that will be played, the senior citizens that'll make the Hinchliffe residences their home, they have some very good view. They have a very good view of any game played. As a matter of fact, I think they were going to buy season tickets, but why bother? The only problem that I can anticipate happening, Melanie, is that a foul ball could essentially hit. But we're not going to go there. But we've hit a home run. Not with just Hinchliffe Stadium, but with Hinchliffe residences. 75 affordable housing units for Paterson residents. And I'm going to give you an anecdote, and then I'm going to turn it over to our next speaker. There's a resident that I saw a week ago who went out of her way to stop me on my way to my car after I was leaving a game at Hinchliffe Stadium, and she said, I was going to leave Paterson. I couldn't afford to stay here anymore. But now, because of the Hinchliffe residences, I can not only afford to stay in Paterson, but I'm going to live here for the rest of my life. To me, that makes my heart happy, because it makes the work that we do all the more worthwhile. So I want to thank our partners at RPM. I don't want to play you in any competition. I want to continue our collaboration so that we can have more anecdotes of senior citizens who want to stay and live the rest of their lives in Paterson. So at this time, we believe in a collaborative approach. We believe in the power of partnerships if the pandemic has taught us anything. And when both branches of government work together, this is the manifestation. So at this time, I'm going to call forward our council president, who is pro-growth, Alex Mendez.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. I think we could do better than that. Good morning. Yes, and I definitely, we have to put all the energy possible, because Mayor, you're totally correct. Today is the day to celebrate. I'm so impressed. This is the first time that I walk into this building. We have 75 state-of-the-art facilities for our senior, and we have to put our hands together to all the partners, the administration, all the partners involved. I'm just gonna say thank you. I'm here to say thank you to each and every one of you for making Paterson better. This is the way to move our city forward. I cannot imagine. I remember when the construction of the stadium started, and with this construction start, and now it's just a totally different view. Our senior, they're gonna be able to enjoy all those 75 units. To other partners, let's continue working together. Let's continue moving the city forward. And something major that happened at the last meeting is that we approved the redevelopment agreement for the Great Falls, and Mike Powell under the leadership of our director, Mike Powell. So listen, that's gonna impact the whole area. I'm here to support what is good for Paterson, and the mayor know, let's continue moving the city forward. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, partners.
All right, I'm Andre Sayegh, and I approve that message. Really impressed. I also want to afford the opportunity to someone who, on the council, supported this project and the overall rebirth of the Great Falls National Park. Because remember, Ed, this falls within the footprint of the Great Falls National Park. And Annette, the Great Falls is the second largest waterfall east of the Mississippi, second only to Niagara. This is our Niagara. So under construction as we speak is a river walk at the falls for a more scenic view. The council president alluded to the redevelopment plan. We have a project at 39 McBride Avenue which would call for a rooftop restaurant with a view of the Great Falls and Hinchliffe Stadium, and a food hall that would accentuate the multicultural cuisine that we are so proud of in Paterson. So the stars are aligning and we're creating synergy in the city of Paterson. And someone who's been an ally in that effort is our councilman from the 5th Ward, Louis A. Velez, our vice president. Louis A. Velez, what does the A stand for?
Action, Alliance, and make it possible.
Action, Alliance.
So, listen, a lot of people ask me in the past why I attend a lot of press conferences with the mayor performing the city of Paterson. Of course, I had to attend because I was part of that vision. So, when you see me at a press conference and making my statement, trust me, the same way that this department, economic development, sweat, and the mayor sweat for this project, I sweat too. So I'm happy to be here and happy to be in more press conference bringing the great news to the city of Paterson. Let me say this. You know, Hinchliffe Stadium, this project and other projects since 2018 have had bumpy roads. It haven't been easy. And when administration and the people that leads the city looking for people that join that vision, I have 2020. I have 2020. Because if I look Paterson way back, 10 years, 15 years ago, it was, you don't even want to visit Paterson in that time. Now you come to Paterson, you got places to come, to eat, to have fun, to enjoy with your family, and to enjoy a real leadership in the city of Paterson that is this leadership. When they called me, Mike Powell called me that they needed a letter of support from a councilman to extend the redevelopmental zone in the Great Falls. I didn't hesitate. While he was speaking to me, I was typing and I was sending that letter. So, ladies and gentlemen, count with me. If you have any other project that's coming to the city, you're welcome to invest in our city. I don't care if people say you're an outsider. I don't care if people say that you're not from Paterson. If you invest in Paterson, you are from Paterson. If you love Paterson, you're going to invest in Paterson. And that's what we want. We want to change the image of Paterson, of the negative to the positive. The rain ruined our initial grand opening, but it did not ruin our project in the city of Paterson. That's the more important thing that we have in the city, is staying positive. Thank you, Mike Powell, for your leadership. I know this is one of your babies, okay? I know you fought a lot. I know you're not going to be here with us, but you're going to be working for us in your end of our job. So, Mayor, thank you for the opportunity. All of you, you see all this area in Paterson, around this place. If you go down the hill, down the hill by the Great Falls, in the 5th Ward is the heart of Paterson. 4th Ward is another place. 1st Ward is another place. And why I mention this is because all these zones are redevelopment zone. So if you have a vision to bring to all the part of the ward of the city, come down here. Don't talk to the negative individual, talk to the positive individual who want to move the city forward. Thank you. And on behalf of the council, thank you.
Make me want to get biblical over here. In fact, one of my favorite scriptures, without a vision, the people will perish. But with a vision, the people of Paterson will prosper. I paraphrase, so if anybody's like gonna go back to man of the cloth or woman of the cloth, I'll leave that to the preachers. But nevertheless, we're honored to have a friend of ours from HUD. And yes, we have friends at HUD, right, Michael? In fact, we have the Region 2 Regional Administrator. I had the pleasure of meeting a few minutes ago, so we go way back. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, give a warm Paterson welcome to Alika Ampry Samuel. I practiced 15 times in the mirror.
This guy here. Thank you, Mayor. You know what? So, I have my notes here in front of me, and I'm totally gonna read them, but I am really impressed, Paterson. Like, I feel like I'm at home, and thank you so so much. I really am. And I just put at the top of my notes, there's a few words that I have to just throw out there before I actually get into my remarks. And that's, you said that you spoke to one of the residents and
Yes.
you said, I was going to leave.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
And so it made me highlight staying home, right? Because at HUD, that's what we try to do. Not try, but we work really hard to just help people be able to remain in their homes. And so I thought about that. And then you mentioned having a vision. And both council members talked about just having a vision and what they see and how this happens, right? And prior to my role as a regional administrator, I served as a member of the New York City Council. And I had a ton of development projects because I served 5 different distinct areas in Brooklyn, Brownsville, Bed-Stuy, Ocean Hill, Crown Heights, and we went through so much in Brooklyn. And so I know what it takes as a council member to try to get things like in projects like this done. And so I really do want to recognize you and just say kudos and thank you for your hard work and dedication. And then you mentioned what we're going to see. And I wrote at the top of my paper, a destination, right? And I put destination because when you have families that say, I was going to leave, they were leaving because this was not a destination for people. But now, this community is, you'll have folks coming from everywhere to Paterson, to Hinchliffe, to be here because they choose to come for a good time. And that is huge for any community, any development. And so I just wanted to mention that. So that's that. So it is a pleasure to join you for the grand opening of Hinchliffe Residences. And congratulations to the mayor, the city of Paterson, and everyone who has contributed to these extraordinary renovations and brought the iconic Hinchliffe Stadium back to life. Now, and I must say, when I walked up and walked into the stadium, I was in absolute awe. Absolute awe. And I want to thank Melanie Walter for everything that you've done. BAW, my family, Ed and RPM and Michael Power, thank you so much for all that you do. And to the elected officials present here today, as well as the deputy mayors. I heard there's other folks here today, so thank you, deputy mayor, for all that you've done. You have been such great partners for HUD. And providing your resources and expertise to our seniors is just phenomenal. And so it is wonderful to see beautiful, brand new, affordable housing for New Jersey residents that are 55 and older, earning 60% of AMI or less on the site. And I am so glad our golden residents will have a fantastic view of the stadium itself. And I was in 2 of the units on the 4th floor, spectacular views, and I also joked about, you know, depending on what happens a few years from now, they might be able to make some extra change, right? Because they have the best views. But that might be against their lease and all that kind of stuff. But I know that the mayor is focused on creating affordable housing for Paterson seniors. And Hinchliffe residents will allow our young at heart residents to live independently, age in place, and remain close to transportation, parking, and amenities right next to the Paterson's Great Falls National Historic Park. So at HUD, we were able to award home funding for this project. $1,123,829,000 of HUD's home investment. Okay, I hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kindness is free. Thank you for being kind and clapping.
Life is good.
But seriously, and I was joking with Ed earlier, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. And leveraging dollars for projects like this is what we have to do. Not one entity can do it alone. And so senior residents are a priority for HUD. HUD provides federal funding for senior housing and services and new grants to allow them to age in place. And under President Biden's proposal budget for fiscal year 2024, it includes millions more in funding for housing seniors. HUD is working hard to alleviate our housing crisis and to increase our housing supply because we know we need more. And HUD provides annual funding to entitlement communities like Paterson. And so just so you know, maybe sometime soon, there may be a NOFO on the street that will allow you to do more here. And so just stay tuned, look out. So So I'm happy to be here with you today, and I look forward to what's left to come here in Paterson. Thank you so much.
I speak for many of us, if not all of us, when I say, Alika, you're always welcome in Paterson. Always. And if you want to make it home, by all means. You're too young for these residences, though. But you touched on affordable housing. This is actually the fourth, I would say, ambitious project in the last 5 years that we've embarked upon. We provide affordable housing on Fifth Avenue as a part of a Riverside Village for senior citizens, 261 units total. And then there's also the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren project. We're going to cut the ribbon on that in a month or so. We also had an innovative affordable housing project that we cut the ribbon on in 2 weeks ago. It's for individuals with chronic health conditions. That's 56 units. Just to give you a better perspective or contextualize it, these are individuals that were homeless, that were seeking shelter in the hospital's emergency room. So we knew we could do better. And for those individuals that be in those units, we're doing better by them. So thank you. We're committed to affordable housing in the city of Paterson and meeting the need, because there is one. I just want to say also, you mentioned Brooklyn. It's my favorite borough. I'm a Mets fan, and I like Queens, and I went to Columbia as Manhattan. But I didn't mention that other B word. Brooklyn is my favorite. You know why? That's where my wife is from. So thank you. Flatbush. Yes, thank you. At this time, we're going to call forward an honorary Patersonian who has been a partner in the progress of Paterson, and that is the executive director of the HMFA here in the state of New Jersey, Melanie Walter.
Go a lot of different places in the state, but I gotta say I always like coming to Paterson. So thank you, make me feel welcome. And I love seeing the progress here, one step at a time. And, you know, that's the interesting thing with Paterson. You don't get a lot of no, we can't do that here. Everybody looks at it and goes, well, give it a try. And so that's how you end up with amazing things like the hospital partnership project that you were describing. You know, St. Joseph's undertook to build housing for individuals who had specialized needs in the community. You see that with Hinchliffe here. No one looks at a stadium in the condition that it was in and goes like, oh, this is going to be easy. Right? But RPM took on the task, saw the potential to build a neighborhood, not just a stadium, not just housing, but to build out the neighborhood. And you see that progress continuing from here all the way down the hill to the Great Falls and down the street in every direction, really. And so that's the amazing thing coming in from HMFA. Sometimes we're looking at sites that are challenging, and we're looking at financing structures that are near impossible. And we're looking at our partners and going, well, they can get it done. And so the great fun of this role is not, it's not always the months spent poring over the notebooks and the Form 10s and the project plans, but it's coming out on the days like this where you get to see what was built. You get to see the faces of the residents, you get to see the community using the facilities, and here the opportunity to see just how much that has integrated a whole neighborhood and provided a place for seniors that's not just a place for them to go, but part of a neighborhood where they can really be, where they can see the high school graduation, where they can walk on the track, where they can go watch the baseball games, where there's a community garden down the street and a national park to go just sit and enjoy. That's not putting seniors off to the side. That's embracing their needs and making sure that they have access to the best of what makes their community a community. And so that's something that everyone who worked on this project should be truly proud of. It's something that helps me and my team at HMFA continue to not only support, but also to advocate for resources for projects like this. We put about $15 million into the project to support the first mortgage. Supported with tax credits, supported with what now seems like a heck of an interest rate at 2.6, I think, just in the nick of time. And knowing that at the end of the day that we get to see a product like this lets me go back and fight every time I have to go in to fight to find that $5 million or that $100 million. And you know, just this past year, the Murphy-Oliver administration and our legislative partners pushed yet again. We brought in close to a little over $300 million to do new development across the state of New Jersey. And Hinchliffe is winning awards. Hinchliffe is one of the projects we can point to. I pointed to in Seattle and Nashville and Boston and Chicago to other housing agencies and other development partners saying, this is the kind of work that we're doing in New Jersey. You can get more creative. You can make the deals work. I know COVID's been hard and it's made these deals much tighter and much more difficult, but we're learning from that and the ball is still moving. And so thank you to everyone who has believed in this project, in this community, and in our statewide vision for affordable housing. Pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Director. Just like with Alika Melanie, you're always welcome here in the city of Paterson. And if you want to take in a Jackals game and then go get some of the best falafel and hummus you'll ever have, I'll bash it. I don't know why I'm promoting just them. I'm not on their payroll, I can assure you. But it's good. It's that good, right, Michael? But we like to affectionately refer to you as a partner in progress. We don't use the term partner in crime, partner in progress. At this time, another partner in progress is our State Senator, Nellie Poe. Today, on her behalf, we have her Chief of Staff, Carol Quadrado. Carol, please.
We got the memo. I look Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It really is an honor and a pleasure to be here this morning. And I've had, so just bear with me, my voice was not truly there yesterday, so, but I was hoping not to miss this because this really is a sense of pride for me as a born and raised Patersonian. Someone mentioned earlier, right, that you feel that you're at home when you're in the city of Paterson. Well, this is my home. And I'm very proud to be here. And I want to thank the mayor and congratulate him before I offer remarks on behalf of the senator for his vision, his hard work and dedication. And of course, great work and great projects like these don't just spring up on their own. And we also need an amazing team behind us, right? So kudos to his administration, kudos to Baye, Mike Powell, everyone that was involved, all the partners that spoke here earlier. Thank you for everything that you've done to make this possible and to make sure that our city flourishes, that our seniors, that everyone that will take part in this project and the many other projects that the mayor mentioned earlier that I was very happy to attend and be a part of. It's just so wonderful. I just came from a ceremony, a swearing-in ceremony at the courthouse where new citizens were sworn in this morning by a Chief Justice, and I couldn't, I just couldn't help but stand there and think about how my parents, when they came, and they decided to take that leap of faith and come into Paterson in the late 60s, had their children, raised their children, and they decided to call Paterson their home, and they're still here today. So again, kudos to all of you. Congratulations for this great project. And so on behalf of Senator Poe, I want to say again that, well, she's traveling today wearing another hat as a National Hispanic Caucus of State Legislators. She serves as their president. Otherwise, she would have never missed this, as the mayor knows, and he can attest to. She has been a huge fan and an advocate of the restoration and the revitalization projects here in the city of Paterson. They all encompass, obviously, the iconic Hinchliffe Stadium, which was mentioned earlier, as well as this surrounding area that includes the Hinchliffe residents. She also wanted to especially thank and congratulate Mayor Andre Sayegh and the administration for their leadership and commitment on bringing more diverse and varied affordable housing options for Paterson residents, especially our seniors. Today's ribbon cutting for Hinchliffe residents represents another big step forward for Paterson and a notable achievement that recognizes the great need to make additional affordable housing stock available to our city residents. What's more, the apartment complex location setting within the Grand Great Falls National Historic Park will provide one more added amenity for those residents who will soon call these apartments home. As many of you know, Senator Poe, a Paterson native herself, has long recognized the need to make housing more affordable across our state, especially for those of low income and moderate income, and also for our returning veterans. That commitment was recently born out in a legislation sponsored by Senator Poe and Senator Troy Singleton to expand financing opportunities by qualified minority, veteran, and women-owned housing development firms. Finding affordable housing in New Jersey continues to be a major challenge, as many of you will attest to, especially for our seniors and those of limited means. This has been especially difficult in the wake of the pandemic and uncertain economic times and rising prices here in New Jersey and above. And it is especially true for Paterson seniors, many of whom have lived here their entire lives, and who now want and should have the chance to retire and be able to live in the city and county where they grew up. Hinchliffe residents, as well as other development projects now ongoing across the city, will give them once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do just that. Again, with that in mind, I want to thank you again on behalf of Senator Paul, myself, and congratulate your team for all the wonderful work, Mayor. Thank you so much for having us.
Let's have another round of applause for Carol. You're always welcome in Paterson. Oh, you are in Paterson, sorry. I want to acknowledge two of my deputy mayors, very active and effective. There's Deputy Ryan Odev, thank you for joining us, and Deputy Pilar Rivas, Deputy Mayor Pilar Rivas. And our friend from HUD, who I gotta give her credit, she doesn't make things easy for us, but that's why we're persistent. Anne-Marie Ubi, thank you for joining us. Maureen, welcome aboard. Tell Arthur I said hello. So, I'm going to get back to something Melanie stated. Yes, this is sometimes a Herculean task, reviving a stadium that has been fallow and derelict for 26 years, and then bringing a residence like this to fruition with, let's not forget the child care center. There's a component to it that will accommodate parents, working families here at the site as well. But BAW, Adolfo Wilson, and I, and Mike, we had so many conversations over the past 5 years, and this was not a light lift. Let's be realistic. There were times where we had opposition from other elected officials, influential elected officials. There were times that we were running short on tax credits. There were times when this almost didn't happen. But let's talk about willpower. And that's what BAW Adolfo Wilson possesses. He possesses vision, and he possesses willpower. His purpose is service, and now as a result, it's materialized. So ladies and gentlemen, BAW Adolfo Wilson, founder of BAW Development. Oh. Yeah. Talking about vision.
2020. Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, everyone, for coming out today. It was interesting because it's when we started this project 4 or 5 years ago, everyone just assumed that we were crazy for even thinking that we could pull together the restoration of Hinchliffe Stadium. Paterson had had so many failures in terms of projects and so many false starts, and the notion that it could happen at that moment was just disbelief. And so, in a lot of ways, I sort of understood the skepticism that was happening, because I too had left Paterson in my teens and had lived here for 30 years. Before one of the elected officials asked me if I was interested in coming back to Paterson and doing any work. And the reality was that I had been in Newark. I was deputy mayor. I worked with a lot of the folks who are here, and I saw just what could happen. My family's originally from Harlem, and I've been in Newark, so I saw that change is real, and it can happen in the context of our relationships to time and not within our lifetimes. So I felt a hell of a confidence about it, but I really needed to figure out how to work with a team that had the infrastructure and the support to really pull something like this off. And so I want to thank the mayor for his consistent support and championing of the project. Obviously, the director, Mike Powell, has been incredible in terms of working on the project, being able to be that voice, helping us figure out how to fix problems and being there on time when we need to figure it out. HMFA and HUD have been also amazing partners. in terms of, this is a urban, high-tech, historic new markets, bond, the complexity of the financing was one that the HMFA staff really took on, and provided leadership, to be frank. But we also have just a great team. The architects are here, in Blaze, Joaquin and Chris, and just really smart guys. So give them a round of applause. The council too. I mean, we went back and forth with them, and at the end of the day, we're here. When the votes mattered, they voted for it. They supported it, and they too saw that we can move these type of projects forward. That Paterson didn't have to be where it's at; to be something that didn't have a destination and work towards that destination. So they too have been really amazing in terms of their support. So I want to thank them as well. But our main partner in this obviously is Ed Martoglia and RPM. His team, RPM Construction, you got Billy over here, you got Amber, you got Richard, you got I see Emily and Brian, but they're here as well. And then the other Brian who's the GM of the complex. But just to be honest, the shoulders that this is really on is Ed Martoglia. He's really been able to sort of carry this project in a way. His keenness, his experience, and just willingness to tackle this project, but some of New Jersey's most complicated projects, is one where I just felt like Ed can help figure this out. And I know that he's at a certain place in his career, but I'm just so glad that he was willing to take a chance on this project on me in the past.
Not yet. Hold on. I'll give you a nice introduction. Ed's always ready to go. I want to say something nice about Mike. And I think you were taking copious notes. I take mental notes. And something you said, I want you to hear this. And it's actually one of my favorite quotes. It's unfortunate that Ted Kennedy had to eulogize his brother Bobby back in 1968. And when he ended his eulogy, he quoted a famous poem, and he said, "Some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not?" That could be said for all of us that believed in this project. People couldn't see it, and they'd say, why? Like, why would you do that? And now it's like, yeah, why not? Why not do more than what we've done already? And that's Ed Martoglia in a nutshell as well. We've used the term easy. We've been banding about. There's nothing easy about Ed. Trust me. If you're short on tax credits or money, he don't want to hear it. He wants to know how we get to yes, which is really important if you want to make progress anywhere in this country. So, in his previous life, maybe he was General George Patton. That man is driven. I told his son, hey, your father is driven. That's a euphemism. I was just trying to be nice. But nice guys finish last, right, Ed? And today we finish first with Ed Martoglia. Put your hands together.
Thank you, everyone. Nice to be here. It's been a long time. So, RPM, this is my 37th year. And we had the good fortune, I often say at these kind of events that, we appreciate the opportunity to work with public and private folks to practice our craft of creating buildings like this. But this was different because it has this and that.
Yeah.
And a daycare. And I can tell you that it was really the challenge of a lifetime. I know you said you committed substantial capital. RPM has committed more to this, and it's been a tough road. It's delightful to be here at the moment. We're not, we're committed over the long term. But I also wanted to let you know that RPM, we're almost 200 folks, and every one of them committed, and so I want to acknowledge Billy Sherwood. Bill ran the construction here 2 years or so. Billy takes on our most complicated jobs, and there's not a time that I've been here, morning, night, he's always here. Even at the end, I call him, where are you? He's in the garage, sweeping the garage out. So just amazing. The rest of our team over here, we have our leasing folks, our accounting folks, Barb from Life Management, our nonprofit partner. Really appreciate all of the RPM team. And of course, it is great to work with all of our mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Good to work with Paterson. HMFA couldn't do it without you, Melanie, you and your team. And HUD, of course, your HUD funding. So thank you all. Appreciate the opportunity to practice our craft.
Not many words, but he's a man of action. It's really important. Pivoting to our final speaker, who's in his own right a man of action. When we came in together on July 1st, 2018, we said it ad nauseum that we're looking to write a success story in the city of Paterson, but we're also looking for co-authors, whether on the federal, state, county, or municipal levels. So today is the embodiment of the new narrative for the city of Paterson, the success story that we've co-authored. Thank you, Director of Economic Development, Mike Powell.
Oh, Mike.
Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is. I really just want
Somewhere
to
it's
daylight right now, and it's a very exciting moment in celebration of what the mayor is alluding to in terms of crafting a new narrative for the third largest city in the state of New Jersey, where the dawn of an industrial era was fostered just beyond that waterfall on my left. And the fact that everybody here played such an active and important role makes this a timeless project. Something that the children who play on the stadium, who go to that school, who get to experience the other things that are coming, like Vistas Park, like 468 Totowa, like Maryland Kramer Park going back to the National Park Service so it becomes a forever park. The visitor center that's going to be dawning right there at the falls, as well as Quarry Lawn, which is right below. That's going to connect to Argus Mill, which is about 95% done. And that's 75 units of grandparents raising grandkids, as well as parking for that entire neighborhood. Then you go to the Fabricolor building and the Lou Costello Park. All of this happened in 5 years, okay? And then thank God the census helped us expand the Fifth Ward into the historic district, which we are very thankful to God and all above. But this kind of visual tour or this experiential opportunity to do alternative economic development is a testament to the mayor allowing me to just try some stuff out, right? To do cultural heritage and tourism and other types of creative things, because in the world of planning and change, planning is the management of change, but you also have to use what you have. And to the extent that you can find assets in the ashes is something that really is something that is a testament to, I think, this guy's vision for the future and our relentless phone calls that go until about 3:30 every night to get this done.
Right.
And in fact, I think it was a council meeting that went till 3:30 in the morning where I fell out of my chair because we were on a Zoom so late. But it's a testament to everybody's commitment to really seeing this through. And Mayor, I really do appreciate this tour of duty. It's our third tour of duty, so to speak, in terms of this type of work. And for those of you that know, economic revitalization and change isn't for the faint of heart, right? And so being able to understand a community and really be respectful of the diversity and the complexity that makes that community what it is a testament to, I think, this type of work. And I just want to, I'm not going to say all the other things that were said before, because I appreciate all the words that came previously and all the partners that are part of it, because this is probably one of the most complicated projects in the state of New Jersey. Yeah. It is the largest historic preservation project in the state's history. And more importantly, because of the layers of government, you have the school board that we have to thank, we have the city that we have to thank, we have the state and federal government that we have to thank, and we also have different levels of the federal government, ranging from HUD to the Department of the Interior to the National Park Service. Like, this is an acronym soup, but at the same time, to the extent that 108 days of the year, that's for the kids, okay?
Yeah.
180 days, they get to play there and take advantage of it. And that has never really happened in economic development. It's always been about, the gleaming waterfront that's going to put a tower there or something like that. This is taking alternative economic development and putting it in the hands of the future, putting it in the hands of children and families, and to do things like connect children on the ground floor to seniors that are above. And that's also a testament to working with our council, because our council said, look, we can't burden the school district anymore, so we had to find a middle way. And so I just am going to keep talking for another hour and a half, but I'm kidding. But honestly, it does mean the world to me. And I'm particularly happy about the housing and the fact that the mayor has allowed us to really put forward every single one of the major projects that we put forward has an affordable and or supportive housing component. And that's important because we are having a national affordable housing crisis, and it's particularly profound here in the northern seaboard, right here in the most densely part of the state of New Jersey as well. So much more to do from a public policy perspective, and I'll be continuing to use the lessons of Paterson because if you can get things done in Paterson, you can get it done anywhere. And so thank you very much for all that
As you can tell, Michael, we just quoted Frank Sinatra there. You're doing it my way. Thank you. That was excellent. And just to dovetail on what you said, Michael, and you've been relentless in your pursuit of making this possible. It goes beyond brick and mortar. It's about pride and progress. Hinchliffe Stadium, Hinchliffe residences, it's pride to Paterson, but also demonstrates that there is progress being made in Paterson as well. Having said that, I'm going to ask our team, led by Curtis from DPW, to remove this podium. Ask those who addressed us earlier to come forward, all those that spoke. Let's cut the ribbon on the Hinchliffe residences.